This morning, a Jacksonville, Florida sheriff's deputy seen striking this driver in the face during an arrest will not face criminal charges.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle!
William McNeil Jr. was pulled over in February for not having his lights on in bad weather and not wearing a seatbelt.
What is your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Deputies are seen getting aggressive with him after he questioned why he was being pulled over, denying there was bad weather and refusing to exit his vehicle. They claimed he was reaching for a knife on the floor, which was not seen in the video. The state attorney's office now concluding it was a lawful traffic stop, saying Officer Bauer's use of a one-time open-handed strike to McNeil's face had a legitimate tactical purpose to get McNeil out of the SUV and to show his hands, which McNeil did after the strike, adding that Officer Bauer's second strike occurred during McNeil's arrest and was in response to McNeil's physical resistance to the arrest.
I was surprised. I was scared. I grew up being told that officers protect us, but that wasn't the case.
Oh, man. They are going to have some people upset with this one. All of your race hustlers, your race baiters, your wokies, your Black Lives Matter supporters, all of them looked at this case right here of William McNeil Jr. and said that this was an open shut case of police brutality. Never mind, Mr. McNeil Jr. was uncooperative. Some might even say combative at points. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's back it up a little bit. Back in February, William McNeil Jr. was pulled over by the Jacksonville police, and I guess it was inclement weather, some sort of overcast or something. Florida law says you have to turn on your headlights if there is less than perfect weather on the roads. So that's why he initially had the probable cause for the stop. I guess he also had a suspended license. He's being told what he's being pulled over for, and he's being given commands by the officer, and he decides to ignore him. You know, he goes back in the car, closes the door, starts recording, and this is where the viral moment begins. This guy decided on the side of the road is where he wanted to plead his case. Now, even as I said in my original video covering on this, that is not the place to do it. Okay, you take the ticket, you sign it, whatever, you go down to the courthouse, you hire a lawyer, or you defend yourself, and that's the time to plead your case. So they ended up breaking out his window, removing him from the vehicle. You know, he got roughed up in the process, chipped some teeth, required some stitches. But after doing an investigation, you think that they're going to find anything with the that the officers did wrong when we could all see on the footage what happened? You know, but you have the usual people, you know, the usual suspects that have nothing to say about black crime in the black communities, mainly committed by other black people. They have nothing to say about that. But as soon as you have a situation where it's either a white person and a black person or a police officer and a black person, they're always going to be right on the scene. You know, and Ben Crump, you know who, he's supposed to be an attorney, isn't he? He's supposed to be a lawyer. He's always picking up these cases. Do they go anywhere? Is he able to get payouts or anything? Maybe, I think he defended George Floyd. Maybe he was able to get some sort of payout for the family in that situation. But for most of his cases, are they going anywhere?
Video and say this does not reflect our training, our policies, or our values. And you need to terminate that officer immediately. Immediately. Because as Attorney Daniels and I deliberated over this matter, if you don't terminate this officer and you condone this type of police excessive force, then it sends a message to all of the other police officers on the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office team. It tells them it is okay for you to treat citizens like this. It is okay.
I really got to hurry up because my camera is tweaking on me, yo. It keeps on freezing me out. Anyway, officer involved in violent arrest of William McNeil Jr. in Jacksonville won't face criminal charges. The state attorney's office has reviewed this matter to determine whether any of Officer Bowers' actions constitute a crime. We conclude they do not. Officer Bowers conducted a lawful traffic stop and gave McNeil 12 individual lawful commands, which McNeil refused to obey, repeatedly requesting a supervisor and arguing the merit of the traffic stop did not absolve McNeil from following lawful orders. It seemed like a lot of people outraged by what happened were mainly outraged at that one hit that Bowers had gave to McNeil, never mind the countless times that he gave him commands. Never mind that McNeil went back into the vehicle and closed the doors, just being defiant. I don't know what the officers were supposed to do. If you or I or any rational person is pulled over by the police, I think that most of us would, be compliant. If even we think the officer is in the wrong, we understand that the side of the road is not where, you argue with them. We've seen time and time again where people try to do that, and how does that work out? They end up with either more charges, more serious charges, or sometimes they end up losing their lives. And the thing about it is the police are going to get off more times than not. If the police do something unlawful, they should be held accountable. But in this situation, I don't know what else the officers could have done with how McNeil was acting. Okay, McNeil's refusal to provide his ID, registration, and proof of insurance, followed by his refusal to exit the SUV, show his hands, and obey the officer's orders, created a dangerous situation for all involved. And I think that that's accurate. When you're watching the body cam footage back, the officer was very patient in the beginning. And McNeil is being aggressive. He's being abrasive. He's being he's being argumentative. Anything that officer said was going to have a response from McNeil. McNeil's attorneys, the race baiting, Ben Crump, and Harry Daniels criticized the state attorney's decision not to press charges in a statement on Wednesday and called on the U.S. Justice Department to investigate the incident. I don't even know where Ben Crump got his license or where he practices. This guy, I don't know. I think he knows that some of these cases he picks up aren't going anywhere, but he knows that they're going to pay that retainer fee to him. He knows that he's going to charge that little contingency. So as long as they keep on paying him, he's going to keep on picking up these cases that he knows for a fact is not going anywhere. Closing out, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office conducted an investigation into Officer Bowers and what took place that day with William McNeil Jr., and they found nothing. And I agree with it. Okay, I think that he is responsible for how that traffic stop went. He escalated it. He was being combative, didn't want to follow directions, and they were lawful commands. Okay, he's driving without a seatbelt on. I think I forgot to say that earlier. He also did not have on his headlights. Also a suspended driver's license. I mean, they were valid traffic infractions that gave the police probable cause. Who knows? He probably even gets off with only the headlights if he doesn't do all of this. Maybe only for the suspended license if he doesn't do all of this. But now if they compound everything that he did that day and throw the book at him, people will have a problem. A lot of people that are defending McNeil did not have a problem with how he was conducting himself. They didn't have a problem with him not following orders, with him not being in compliance to be on the roads in Florida. They didn't have a problem with that. They had a problem with one tiny hit that Officer Bowers gave to him that they say was unprofessional. Never mind, William McNeil Jr. is being anything but professional. And I hope that the young brother is able to learn from this situation so that he doesn't end up going through this type of crap again. He probably put out the video thinking that, you know, people would see it, which they did, and come to his defense. But I don't think that there was anything he did right that day. But I'm sure that there's someone out there that, like Harry Daniels, like Ben Crump, that this is a hill that they are willing to die on. They think that this was an act of police brutality, that this was just another example of a black man driving while black and being harassed by law enforcement. You know, now he's got to pay to replace his windows. I know that there's people out there that's going to say that. As usual, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. This was just a quick update on, you know, the William McNeil Jr. situation, the internal investigation that took place within the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. This is the finding. Nothing there. I appreciate you for hanging out with me as usual. You know, and to help get this video out to even more people, it goes a very, very far way for the channel. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also join in on the conversation with a comment. Let me know whether you agree, disagree, indifferent, whatever your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section. Till the next video, y'all, please be safe and stay wavy.